So there's been footage going around of just these totally bizarre interviews with the jury forewoman of this special grand jury that's going on in Georgia, which is, of course, targeting Donald Trump because they don't want him to run for president again. But in any case, this isn't really helping. These interviews aren't helping much. And the criticism is it's totally discrediting this whole process. It's making it look like just a witch hunt against Trump. And ironically, it turns out that this woman is actually a witch herself, or at least she promotes witchcraft. Because apparently on her Pinterest, there's stuff about where to start, Wicca, witchcraft, and paganism. Ooh, I think I'll take paganism. Anybody got an extra statue of Dionysus I can worship? And apparently Pinterest is a great place to get spells as well, if you want to cast spells on people. Yeah, I mean, if you're a judge and you see the foreperson of a grand jury sticking pins in a doll, yeah, probably time to start asking a couple questions. Like, who let the fruitcake into my courtroom? But let's get a look at what all the hubbub's about. Let's take a sample here.
And I don't want to say I have better judgment than the judge.
That's totally understandable. Would you say, when it comes to, there are indictments recommended, of course. Is it
Yes.
more than 12 people? Is it more than 20 people?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it comes to 75 witnesses, like, it's not, I assume, of course, it's
Right.
not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
Okay. More than a dozen, though, I think I'd heard you say in another interview.
I believe so. That's probably a good assumption.
The name that everyone wants to know about is former President Trump.
Of course.
Did you recommend charges against Donald Trump?
I really don't want to share something that the judge made a conscious decision not to share.
You know, Donald Trump put out a statement last week about the partial report that the judge did release, the pages that he did. And the way that he described it is he said that yet your report means total exoneration for him, is how he put it in his statement. What's your reaction to that, Emily?
I did see that today, which was fascinating. I'm not positive he read the right document, but I will say that if what he was talking about was our statement where we indicated that there was no evidence of widespread fraud or widespread vote fraud in the Georgia 2020 election, that might have been what he meant. Other than that, I'm not positive what he meant by that. I'd be interested to know.
I don't know. How would you feel about that person on a jury deciding your life? How about this interview?
Did you personally want to hear from the former president?
I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Now, I noticed this story. CNN reporters agonize over Trump grand jury forewoman's bizarre media blitz. Prosecutor's nightmare. Anderson Cooper said he was wincing over Core's eagerness to hint at stuff. Well, it's also her eagerness to look very biased. But what do they expect? I believe that this woman is a product of the corporate media, which is 95% hysterically left-wing. They've trained their audience to be twitchy children. There's an old novel called The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And in this old still from an old movie of it, you have the protagonist Dorian Gray here. And here you have a portrait. And that's a portrait of him, but it's a picture of him being old. Old and horribly corrupt. And in the novel, Dorian Gray sells his soul so that a portrait of him will age in his place. And he will stay young. And as time goes on and he doesn't get any older, the portrait gets older and more grotesque as it takes on all of his sin and corruption. And that put me in mind of this crazy lady, because I think she is the face of the CNN audience. No, she's not old. She hasn't taken on time. She's taken on all of the sin and corruption of the corporate media. And let's just expand it beyond CNN. The corporate media as a whole. They want everybody like her. This tweaker is the embodiment of the mainstream media. Every sin against integrity, every second of narcissistic self-righteousness. This is the portrait of Dorian Gray for the media class. It's the portrait of CNN. And yes, the CNN people, the teleprompter readers, they keep that veneer of integrity and sanity, while every day, minute by minute, second by second, poisoning their audience, corrupting their audience. While the media has been lying endlessly, this is what's been happening to their viewers. And if they find it embarrassing, if the Anderson Coopers of CNN find it embarrassing, it's only because, ultimately, they're embarrassed of themselves. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.